Hello and welcome. In this video, I will introduce you to the CSS Border Property and how it works. The CSS Border Property basically allows you to specify the style, the width and the color of an element's border. So you define the border for an HTML element by specifying the style, the width and the color. The border style property specifies what kind of border to display. There are different types of borders. Example include dotted borders, so the borders will appear dotted. You got dashed borders and solid borders. There are a lot more, but these are just some basic example of the different styles of borders. A border has 4 sides, so you can specify to apply styles, the border styles, to different sides of the border, or you can just apply one style to all the 4 sides of the border. There's also a border width property, which is used to specify the width of all the 4 borders. And when you're setting the width of the borders, you can set it in pixels, in points, in centimeters, in and any other measurement value you want to use. But most people or developers tend to use pixels a lot. We also have the border color property. The border color property basically is used to set the color for all the 4 sides of the border. I'm going to illustrate by creating a border for the body element. So this is the body element here. So I'm going to create a border around it. But before I do that, I want to set a width for the body element. I want to give it a specific width. So I'll go into my CSS and I've already got a body property here that I've applied some styling to. I'm just going to add to this style rule here. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to set the width. I want to give it a width. So I'm going to set the width. This will determine how wide my body element will be. I'm going to set this to say 600 pixels. And now I'm going to apply a border. And the border, I'm going to set it to have a pixel value of 4 pixels wide. I want the border to have a black color and I want the border to be solid. So I'm going to be using the border style property, the border color and the border width. So to do that, I'll just type in border. I'll do the colon and next I'll specify, I'll start with the width. I'll make it say 4 pixels. This is the width of the border. Next, I want it to be solid. This is the style now. So it's going to have a solid style. Next, I want the color, border color, to be black. So I'm using 3 properties here. The width, which is this one here, the style, and then the color. So that's it for my border. So I'm just going to save that and see. Let me expand this so we can see. You can see we've got a border around it now. Also, you can see because I set the width to be 600 pixels, this content here is the body content, which is all the elements inside the body element. So I've given it a width of 600 pixels, so all hence is wrapped around the main HTML. This one outside here is the main HTML. What I want to do, I want to apply a color to the body so that it differentiates it from the actual parent HTML container. So I'm going to come here inside the body element. I'll type in background color, which is this one here, and I'm going to give it, I'll make it yellow. So I've given it a background color yellow. You can see it's reflected already. So if I expand this, you can differentiate the body content from the rest of the HTML, which is the actual document itself. This bit here is the HTML, and the yellow bit here is the body content, which is all the elements inside the body area of the HTML element. If I go into my HTML code, so you can see the body element is highlighted. So all this here is the content represented in this yellow background. And then the HTML is from here. That's the beginning HTML, and that's the ending HTML. The whole document is the HTML, which is represented by the other color here, this color here. All right. So we can see by adding the border has applied to all the 4 sides of the border. Border has 4 sides. So you've got the top, the right, the left, and the bottom. In this video, I explained how the CSS Border Property works, and we use the border color property. We also use the border width property and also the border style properties. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.